That is not an exit. You need to go back in there. You cannot be out in the street and you cannot walk down the street. So please go back.
We're here on the Las Vegas Strip checking out the construction that's underway for the F1 races, and we are here to tell you why you do not want to come to Las Vegas right now. One reason that you should avoid Vegas right now is that the Bellagio fountain views are completely obstructed. The sidewalk is closed down. You cannot walk on the sidewalk in front of the Bellagio. So that iconic view that you have in your head of the fountains going off with the Bellagio in the background, you can't get that. You can't even get that across the street. The Mon Amiga Bee or Beer Park, those are usually great places to sit down, have a cocktail or food, and watch the fountains. But they built grandstands and viewing decks for the F1 races right on the fountain, blocking the sidewalk, and it's closed off. Now, if you do want to get a view of the fountains, they're still going off, but what you have to do is go into the Bellagio, go over to the lobby, then you're going to walk outside where the taxi and valet pickup are, and walk down the sidewalk. There's a little sidewalk that's right in front of the fountains on the back side, but you will get a view if you can find a spot. If you're here at night when everybody else is here trying to catch a fountain view, the place is packed, and we've gone through here before, let's say 8 or 9 at night, and it's hard to find a spot because it's just not a very big sidewalk. So that is the reason that you should avoid coming to Vegas right now if you want to get a view of the fountains. Now, speaking of sidewalks being closed, that causes some trouble, right? Because how are you going to get from one place to another? So you can cross the street and go on the other side of Las Vegas Boulevard if you want to make your way around. But just note that even there is some construction. Over at the Horseshoe, they're building up Ole Red, which is Blake Shelton's new place that's coming at the beginning of 2024. And there's construction all around there. So you have to go through some, blocked off areas and try to make your way around. Or the other alternative, if you stay on this side of the street, is that you actually have to walk up into the Bellagio, go through the casino, and go down another ramp to get to the other side over to the Cosmopolitan. So there's a lot going on here with F1, and that might be a reason that you should avoid Las Vegas right now. So we all know that the Mirage Volcano is going away forever, and maybe you wanted to get your last volcano fix. Well, if you come right now, that is not going to happen. They closed it off on September 13th, and it's not going to reopen until after December 8th, and that was to make way for this ugly grandstand right behind me. So instead of seeing the volcano, you see the fencing and the grandstands. But speaking of ugly, all across the strip, the entire length of the strip, you're going to see this track thing. It's like a structure that has a track with lighting on it so that it can light up the street for the F1 races. So that's gonna basically take away your view anywhere you go on the Las Vegas Strip at the moment. Another reason that you should not come to Vegas right now is because traffic on the boulevard is a nightmare. Actually, pretty much anywhere in Vegas right now because of everything going on. So if you're driving into town, or maybe you're taking a flight and you have to get in by a taxi or rideshare, it's going to take a lot longer than it normally would because of everything going on. So first of all, Tropicana Road, they started doing construction over the freeway a while back. They call it Dropicana. That causes extra traffic. But then of course the F1 racing is just creating a nightmare here on the Las Vegas Boulevard. So first of all, they've been doing the paving to make it work for the race cars. And while I will say that the roads are smooth where they have done it, it has just created a lot of extra traffic because they're having to close down lanes in order to make that happen. Now, the grandstands alone, building those, they're having to close some lanes. So it kind of drives traffic into fewer lanes to get that whole work done. So that creates even more traffic for you. And then the side streets that you might normally take to kind of get around and sidetrack the Las Vegas Boulevard, well, those are under construction too because it's part of the raceway. So you have Koval Lane that is under construction. They have lanes closed off or even closed completely in some areas. Flamingo Road, they're building a bridge that's going to take cars over the racetrack. So that's all under construction and causing headaches everywhere. If you are driving in or taking cars around, maybe you need to go from the strip to downtown, just expect that it'll take you at least twice as long to get where you're going. Another reason you should not come to Vegas right now is because the room prices are absolutely insane. We're staying here from October 20th through the 23rd, and looking around, room prices for places like Excalibur, even like Motel 6, we're going for $500. And you want a nice hotel, that's gonna go for over $1,000. So there's a lot going on in Las Vegas right now. This weekend in particular, there's a music festival, there's a bullfighting competition, there's concerts going on, and then just throughout the next month or so, including F1 of course, there's a lot happening. Beginning of December, there's the National Final Rodeo, and that brings in a lot of people, prices go up. So what we recommend you do is come towards the end of December. If you come before Christmas or between Christmas and New Year's, you're going to get excellent rates, and you're going to maybe be able to even stay in a nicer hotel. But they also decorate everything for Christmas. So if you come into the hotels, you're going to see different displays going on. It's really beautiful. And the fountain views will be unobstructed. The volcano show will be back and operational. And they're opening up the Fountain Blue in the middle of December, so you'll be able to check that property out. And that's been 20 years in the making. So highly recommend that you wait until the end of December to make your trip. If you really want to come to Las Vegas right now, I'm going to give you an alternative. Try staying in downtown Las Vegas on the Fremont Street Experience. Now, maybe you've never tried it before, and it might be the time to do it with everything going on. It's not going to solve all the problems that we're facing here with all the F1 construction and traffic, but it could be a different experience for you that has less headaches. Now, Circa, for example, has a beautiful hotel. It's newer, it feels like a strip property, so that could be a good alternative. The Plaza recently did a whole renovation out front. They have a new Pink Box Donuts, a carousel bar, and they extended Oscar Steakhouse out with a patio area. It looks beautiful. And then they have the new Brian Christopher Slots area. You also have the Golden Nugget, which is a beautiful hotel property right in the middle of the Fremont Street Experience. And then don't forget about El Cortez, which is on Fremont East. That's a historic property. It gives you a real different experience of Las Vegas. So you can expect a different experience if you're staying on Fremont Street. It's so much easier to get from casino to casino. You're not walking miles, it feels like, to get there. The people watching is second to none. They have live bands going. They have street performers. It is just a lot of fun and a lot different than the Strip. So it could be the time, if you have never stayed on Fremont Street, could be the time to try it out. I highly recommend that if you are going to come during this F1 madness, anytime really between now and the middle of December, consider staying on the Fremont Street Experience area. I cannot wait until Las Vegas gets some sense of normalcy back with the traffic, the pricing, and the construction. But until then, you cannot say that we didn't warn you. Now, if you are thinking of visiting Fremont Street, be sure to check out the Golden Nugget and El Cortez. We have full reviews on these properties. That's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Between the Wynn and Palacios, where you get the best view of the Sphere without actually walking all the way over there. So
it is a great view.